Hi, Obies. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, my name is Steph. Thank you so much for being here. Your attention, your awareness, your like, share, subscribe, and overall support. It truly warms my haunted heart. Earlier in the month, I created an ink blot made in your name and essence bookmark style, and we are going to flip it for perspective possibilities so we can see what shapes and symbols stand out to your psyche and psychic senses. As well, we'll add on tarot and oracle, and where Mr. Ghost GIF is here, we have Ghost Tube kicking for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Overall, please do receive a release freely. Opies, I'm so glad you're here. When you're ready, I'm going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me, or you can gaze for any shapes and symbols that stand out, your oracle cards that came out, your angel card number, and your talisman of success. Taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of Ophiuchus. Opies, thank you for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. All right, let's dig in. Somebody's been building something strong like a diamond, but slowly. And I'm seeing these like snails, but these snails turn into dragons. It's almost like, when you see a snail or a slug leaving their mark of where they've been. I'm seeing this in the Opie energy. It's like something's been slow moving, but it's been building like longevity muscles. Longevity strength maybe is a nicer way of saying that. And it's like a positive pressure of some sort of diamond. I'm also seeing something like I am moving checker pieces. I think this is what I'm seeing. Excuse me. It's almost like a double jump. Like at the end of a game, it's like boom, 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 boom. But there it is. So something might have been slow moving, like the initial checkers game or chess or apply anything else. And then boom, 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 it comes together. And huzzah, here's the diamond. Yeah, okay, I'm going to keep going here. Yeah, something's been successful. And it's very stable. This is that strength. Sorry, I was just like, my attention was like asked to like, hello. Success and stability of something. And now I know with the Opie Collective, you have a lot going on in your awareness of interaction with the collective in and of itself. But this feels personal. It could even be that strength of your sign. Maybe in some cases it's acceptance or admittance, but I'm hearing that those, whether it's from the collective or within the self, it's not that it's indifferent, but it's not worth bickering about because it's an energy. It's an energy that everyone has access to in the constellation. And there is this success of existing beyond certain paradigms or programs in place because there's different time frames happening. And it's almost like a peak into an opportunity. It's like Ophiuchus is an opportunity. As an energy. Give me a moment here, Opies, because I'm seeing a figure step forward. They're holding, on one hand, it looks like one of those, Diane. I think it's like an old school, I don't know, like weapon or torture thing. It's on a stick. There's a ball, but there's spikes around it. And on the other side, I'm seeing a very plush paintbrush tip. It's almost like turning wisdoms and words, or wisdoms into weapons and weapons into wisdoms. Again, there's another sense of strength here, but I feel like I'm in the mind of the temples. I've climbed something like lattice. like lattice up against a wall, and I've been able to climb it, or slowly put in pegs or something on a tree, whatever this tree might symbolically mean. And it's like building the ladder as I go. There's been a patience. I'm also seeing like either it's like tanning glasses, like when you go tanning and they put those little glasses on your eyes, or they're swimming goggles. Two different elements there. And maybe that's just part and parcel of this paintbrush, soft and feathery in this torturous chamber. Oh, and see, and even a friend most recently said to me, like, when, a certain pain or hurt, even the gentleness of a feather can feel like a slice. I'm going to keep going, Opies. I hope you're doing well. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe. I know we're early on, but it's coming together. 8 of Swords and 7 of Spears. If these cards mean anything to you, please see, sense, and feel for yourself. Follow that. Interesting. Agreed. Even how when I was down here in this, I don't know, weapony thing, and then this thing, I kind of want to note that there's this harmony, like all the swords have created something, and then all the swords are pointed, or spears, whatever the case may be. There's this balance. You can create with this. If there's a boundary of something, see, it's like a boundary is beautiful, but a boundary can also be used as a cage. It can protect oneself from oneself and also from oneself to others. Okay, so Opies, whether this is personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, or again, I'm very aware your energy spans out pretty vastly in relation to, I'm going to say healing justice is the word that's coming through. Okay, thank you. Some sort of fire energy has been captured until intentions are illuminated. Stop it. And another aspect or energy, okay, thank you, can go out to defend this actually. This is how I'm seeing it. Sorry, not sorry. We're here. Well, we're making our way through. There's an aspect of this feels very individual piece. Okay, thank you. Because as soon as I wanted to zoom out, it asked me to come back. Something about a bell, like if you would go to like a hotel or something, and there's like an old school bell. Baby, ring my bell, ring my bell. There's a part of me or an aspect of me that is currently in a boundary. It's a little ticked 48. Off. It's a little ticked off about it. But it's because so maybe the masculine energy, feminine, up, down, plus, minus, apply any polarity you want. If there's a part of you that feels maybe it's the slowness, I don't know what it is, but it's a bit, so the other part can go out and generate a strength for the success. It's almost as if there's like a success here and the stability. And sometimes stability can feel suppressive. For some, contentment is a constraint. Sometimes it's also peace, and it's unrecognized as peace because there's a used to having so much action. And suddenly without action, in this passivity perhaps, like this active and passive, it's like I can only be in passive so long, or a space of contentment, and then I go back out. But there's something about this that is refreshing for you, the way maybe you're alchemizing something or the way you're going about something. So now it's making me feel like when I'm in this boundary, I'm not blocked, I'm preserving. So when this active energy returns, it's protected while it's being rejuvenated. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it was just like a wild ride there. We're here for Ophiuchus. Two of Swords. Yeah, it's like one placement thing. No, okay. Thank you. It's moving from metal to earth or wood specifically, if that element is something that you're working with. I'm not blind. I'm working on other senses, heightening my other senses. This is something about skills. There's something about skills going on. And I apologize if it was long-winded to get to there, but something about skills. Okay, so I just heard the way that there's sacrifice somewhere for a time while I spend time or energy, passive or see, it's funny, I was going to say passive or aggressive, like passive aggressive to passive or active. So maybe there's an air of somebody around you passive aggressively, or again within the self, and it's being reflected back for one's own internal reflection of putting those together. Because then it gets mumbled, and then that's when I feel like this is where I'm like, well, I'm a little
angel
passive aggressive, or somebody else is being passive aggressive with me. How do I want to approach this? Again, there's something about a skill set coming through. And with this Ace of Cups, again, if it means anything to you, thank you. So see in this card here, and you know me, if this means anything to you, follow that. But I tend to follow the artistry first. Like it's this thing. Are those horns? I'm not even really sure. Anyway, it's not the point. But they're here. They're here. It's like what will building the earthly or wood carving that will hold the metal cup. Your goblet? Is that a... I don't know. I'm going to leave it there. 4 of coins. For me, more stability. Okay, Opies. I'm going to keep going here. Something about money stabilizing perhaps in your finances. Could be interacting with a...
hospital.
Torian. Oh my goodness, I feel like at a loss for words sometimes, but I appreciate the space. I appreciate the space to breathe. And maybe that's something too for yourself, like just to breathe, truly not rush, to rush through it. I feel like in regards to your money, success and stability. Also in your skill sets of money as well, or where you're investing, or where you're investing your time. It's like having high risk and low risk savings and where I'm spending. This is also energetic. It's not just necessarily in the currency of finances or cash or doling out cash. I do feel like, Opies, there's someone, something, or an energy that wants to approach you. And it's, and if you have watched the Game of Thrones with the Bolton boy here, it's not necessarily a positive feeling that's coming through. And it's more like the way they talk. Maybe this is the passive aggressive person. Almost like they want to tear down your stability and your success to make themselves feel better. Or is this something that, again, I feel like I'm trained in the Opie aura, so forgive me because I want to wander out. I want to. It's so expansive in your aura. I love it. And it goes underground. It's everywhere. You guys go through the dark and the light. And again, I'm seeing like your snakes, and it's very harmonious for me. But it's like following them. Literally like snakes and ladders in here. It's great. But I have to pick my paths. So this isn't like the mental aspect of it. Okay, so the way that you're moving on from this, because now there's a different spirit guide stepping forward with you. When I say spirit guide, they could be incarnate. They could be an advisor you have. They could be a friend that tells you about this. Okay, or spirit guides. We'll receive that as confirmation. Thank you. You think about something. There could be a lot of relationships and resonances that are being... Okay, so it's looking at risks and rewards. Yep, there's a big old elephant up here with ears and surprised eyes. Like, oh, really? And it's almost like you're surprised about this. This is surprising. I don't remember this. Or it's like, I remember it. The bell goes off. Okay, so imagine here, this is one of those bells. And you're like, ting, ting. So somebody's coming up to like, ting, ting. And whether it's you or a spirit guide, as they're coming in, they can't access the ding. That's what that feels like. Odd as it may be, it is what it is. That's the way it came through, so I appreciate that. I'm also seeing a celebration where like tinking on the side of a glass, like ting ting or kiss, 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 something along that lines. Oh, okay, that's very bright up there. Set personal boundaries. I'll bring these up for you in just a moment. We're here for Opies if there's anything else. Everything in yeah, see, there's just something so... Okay, all right. Opies. So you have here protection.
Why is she here?
And eunonia and liberation. I want to note for me in these cards, everything in perfect balance and protection, set personal boundaries. And we were kind of been talking about that from the beginning. These boundaries, mental boundaries. Okay, so now I'm like,
it's impossible,
doing one of those things of like sharpening a sword. It's like while I'm in this boundary of swords, that maybe this cage or the space of contentment that I'm going to break out of soon for one reason or another, and I'm sharpening the blades while I'm there. I'm like, while I'm here, I might as well sharpen the blades. Everything in perfect balance. And realistically, the way I'm seeing that is understanding what I even said about like your aura overall. There is like this coalescence of, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to say light and dark, the esoteric, the exoteric, the good and the evil. There's this ability within your, again, it's like the snakes, which is even in here in this liberation, and I know the lighting doesn't allow it to come through. It's like that coil thing that comes through. Okay, that this coil thing also came up in the Capricorn reading, like a same kind of coil that might mean something to you, or if you're, you know, have Capricorn somewhere in your chart. Something can strangle or something can serve, and you're unleashing yourself from something that is, you've already learned,
Kathleen,
move on from. Your spirit guides are supporting this. Yes, it's been a slow going, a slow moving process, but that's been okay. The lovers, children of the, yeah. The lovers, children of the voice divine. Listening to your elder energies, ascended masters, other energies that are working with your signs spirit, that each of you add to, create, right? And this blend of earth and metal, temperance, daughter of the reconcilers. It's not your job to reconcile the reality on everyone's behalf. It's almost like I'm getting the feeling, whether this is, again, very individual or interconnected, because I feel like I'm a little surprised up here. You're like, well, some people don't want help. And that's their place. You're working with those in reality that are willing to receive support for reconciliation, whatever resonances or areas that's in. And that same advice goes for you. To receive or release freely, to liberate yourself from even thoughts that you've been thinking or whatever the case may be. And knowing they served. But it's like, again, I feel like I'm in that place of, is it contentment and constraint?
Yes.
And restraintive, feeling restraintive, or is it contentment and I don't know what peace looks like? I don't know what that space looks like, so I feel confined because I don't know what calm feels like. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. On the bottom is also 8 of Wands. There's a lot of 8s in your reading. 2 of Cups is also over here. There's that blending and that binding, the blending and the binding. Temperance, 8 of Wands, a lot of 8s. Infinite energy is around you. Infinite spirals of creation. Some amount of remembering when my footsteps walked differently. When maybe I had a different body, when I had a different mindset, when I had a different job, when I had whatever these things are, because I feel like you're very memorable and making memories, but it also could be like shocking to some, even to yourself sometimes. And the way I'm seeing it is like one of those old clowns that have like the makeup where the eyebrows would just be like triangles and the circles or something. It's like, oh my God, that's a clown. Is the clown good for comedy, or is the clown scary and going to be something nasty? That's what it makes me feel like, Opies. And I'm not, again, I'm
lost.
With your energy, it can be not hard, but being a guest here anyway is like navigating, because of even just the symbolic nature of your sign and the spirit of such. You're so intertwined individually, and I know we all are. I'm not trying to move away from that, but here specifically, it's like that, moving at a snail's pace for a very specific kind of skill set and strength that I don't think everybody is willing to do, because it's not for them to do at this time. To tap into the Ophiuchus energy, whether they accept or not, through different schoolings, school of thoughts, astrology, etc. And that's okay. What you're doing is moving from snail's pace to swiftness once you decide. Wherever your attention decides is where you're going to move, like passively, like passive action or aggressive action. But Opies are like passive aggressive, that doesn't cross. If that crosses, it's like, no. Passive action or aggressive action, because I'm also seeing like divining rods. And that's interesting, because I don't really I see a constant, I'm not even on the right thing. Spirals of creation, eggs, lineages, lines, ladders, a strength achieved, a skill achieved. Baby, ring my bell. And you get these big feet, big hat, big hands. Whatever those may mean to you, but that's how I'm seeing it. Big shoes to fill, large open arms to receive, and a large hat to cover like the big brain of all the things I remember. Comedies and tragedies, mountains I have already climbed. Also, some of you are seeing UFOs, or what do people call it now to make it less weird or more comfortable, UAPs, etc., that are going into mountains. I feel like this might have even come up in like other readings for you guys. Like you're aware of things that go on in earth. Earth, wood, metal. It's like you can look at a mountain and see there's a brain in there.
Float.
And that also could be symbolic of your own. We can all be blockheads, earth heads, get stuck somewhere. But I keep hearing, remember that you are the child, the voice of the divine in action, passive or active. You're being handed a torch over lifetimes and lineages. Dragons also could be a very large thing right now. Rest. Let us not make mountains out of molehills, or ignore molehills that are really mountains. Opie, I'm going to leave your message here. I hope this did inspire. Well, we'll add on a little fun here before we go for the Opies. Okay. The war has, this is a horrible camera angle for this. The war has reached a critical point between Atlantis and Mu.
Slowly.
You are our God. Love, healing. My goodness, hold on, sorry. From here on, it's nothing but a downhill run. There's speed picking up, success in your speed, success in your stability. And I feel like there's just been lots of layers of stability. Skill. I don't know how to say it anymore. And perhaps it's because I feel like I don't need to say a whole lot in regards to this card. I feel like you know if you know. And I don't mean to say that in a weird passive aggressive way. It just literally, that's how it feels like. Opies, as always, thank you so much for being my muse and holding space for me to share my insights and all that kind of great stuff. All the links are below. I am going to see you soon with a fresh ink blot for, what are we going into, March? For March. If I can, I'll sneak in a bonus. If not, maybe a short specific for you guys. I'm not really sure. But until then, thank you. I adore you. Your awesome awareness and attention, I truly do appreciate. Until next time. Bye. I got skills. They're multiplying. Yeah, look at this. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Boom.